If you don't live in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or you're not an Arkansas Razorbacks fan, you should be absolutely terrified right now because Arkansas is an absolute nightmare for the entire NCAA tournament field. The Razorbacks just secured a monumental victory over the number 2 seed fan favorite St. John's this past weekend. Not many people expected them to win that game. I was not among that population, as I did predict Arkansas to beat St. John's famously, I will say. I believe in the Hogs, and nobody else did, and they delivered. So thank you for that, Arkansas. I really do appreciate that. But this win over St. John's for Arkansas is significant, especially when you consider the context behind the situation. Just back in mid-February, many people considered Arkansas to be dead in the water. They'd sold all of their Arkansas stock. But nonetheless, Arkansas, they plowed forwards, and they did just enough to stamp themselves a spot in the NCAA tournaments, and now they find themselves in the Sweet 16. Which is why I say all you have to do is get in the tournaments and make something of it. I don't give a shit if you're a 2 seed, a 5 seed, an 8 seed, a 12 seed. You've just got to get in the big dance. And then all that matters is capitalizing on every opportunity you get once you're in March and just survive and advance. I mean, we've seen many teams, 8 seeds, 7 seeds, go very far in the big dance. So you've just got to get in. Arkansas is a testament to that. What's freaky is that this Arkansas team reminds me exactly of one of John Calipari's Kentucky teams. 2014. Kentucky was an 8 seed in the NCAA tournaments. They were one of those teams that in the regular season, they never really got into a rhythm, never really caught their stride, never maximized their potential. But everything started to congenialize at the right moment for that Kentucky team, and they peaked at the right time. And when you watch that team, you always knew what they were capable of. You just never saw it all come together. You never saw that big picture surmount. But it did at the right time. It did in March in the NCAA tournament. And I'm starting to see those same ingredients appear on this Arkansas team. I watched a lot of Arkansas basketball this year. I'm not going to lie. And I always saw the potential in this team. I always knew what they're capable of. I just never really saw the dots connect in January and February. Never saw them synergize and play their best basketball. But this team now, in late March, they're peaking at the right time. They look more cohesive than ever. And quite frankly, they're playing their best basketball when it means the most. And I think that the ceiling is incredibly high for this team. If they continue to play the way they played against St. John's, I can see them going to the Final Four or even the National Championship. They're capable of beating most of these teams in the tournament right now. So there's a lot of parallels between that 2014 Kentucky team that was the 8 seed and John Calipari's Arkansas team this year, who's the 10 seed. So you may ask yourself, how did this team that was pretty much out of the picture, counted out by many in mid-February, how did they find themselves in a Sweet 16 matchup with Texas Tech? Well, this has always been an uber-talented team. John Calipari put this team together with both transfers and talented young players. Some of the notable transfers include John L. Davis, Jonas Adu, and Adu Thiro. And Boogie Flans is a 5-star freshman that's made a huge difference for this Arkansas team. He's an absolute stud. So that talent has always been there. You're just seeing it all come together right now and congenialize at the right time. Arkansas also has the 18th tallest team in Division I. Just listen to the heights of some of these guys. Savonimir Avicic, 7'2", a 7-foot European. That's always terrifying. Jonas Adu, 6'11". Trevon Brazil, 6'8". Adu Thiro, 6'8". I mean, there is length on this team. And that helps Arkansas crash the boards, get rebounds, and like I always allude to in football, success starts in the trenches. Success in basketball, any successful coach will tell you, success in basketball starts with rebounding. And Arkansas has the length to effectively get that done on a consistent basis. And you saw that against St. John's. Going up, grabbing them rebounds on offense and defense. Because what it does is it creates more opportunities for your team to score, to get the lead, to extend the lead, and secure victories. Success starts with rebounding, and Arkansas has used their length to be very successful in the rebounding game. They're also extremely chippy and physical on defense. They're great at generating turnovers and getting points off of those turnovers, and they absolutely suffocated St. John's with that. And I think you'll see that against Texas Tech as well. And because of their size, they're great at protecting the rim. The height, they're always there, generating opportunities for Arkansas. And it's just, it gives this team such a huge advantage. And if you're an opponent of Arkansas, it's a huge disadvantage to play this team. I'll put it straight. It's a bitch to play Arkansas because of how chippy they are, because of how stingy they are, because of how long they are, how good they are at rebounding. And just like any well-coached team, they're going to make it as hard as possible for you to gain any advantage on them. And you have to be as detailed and perfect as possible to beat this team because they pay attention to detail like most John Calipari coach teams do. And that's the final icing on the cake here. All of the talent is here. The length is here. The defense is here. They're great at generating turnovers. But perhaps Arkansas's most important tool is John Calipari. A guy that's been there and done that. A guy that is a national champion. A guy that has 6 Final Four appearances. That's a huge advantage for Arkansas because John Calipari has more experience in the NCAA tournament than most of these coaches remaining in the big dance right now. And when you've been there and done that, that gives you confidence and an edge against a guy who's maybe been there a time or two, but not as much as John Calipari, or somebody who's not even been there yet. I mean, just having that psychological advantage is huge for Arkansas. And when you have a team with that much talent, and you couple that with the leadership of John Calipari that places an emphasis on being detail-oriented, being consistent, being disciplined, I mean, that's dangerous. That's a team with a lot of synergy. And those teams, they just play the game differently because they're more detailed. And the culture of this Arkansas team is just going to be more buttoned up than a lot of their opponents because John Calipari is so skilled at building culture. They're more tight-knit, and they're going to be better at capitalizing on opportunities than a lot of these other teams are out there just because of the leadership that they have. And it's such a major advantage for Arkansas. Arkansas is, how do you phrase it? They're a 4 seed and a 10 seed's body. They're a 4 seed in disguise of a 10 seed. And for that reason, You can't underestimate Arkansas because it'll bite you in the ass. It did to St. John's, and they'll do it again. I think that this team is more than capable of beating Texas Tech. And I say that with a lot of respect because I have a high regard for Texas Tech. They, too, are very talented and very well coached. But Arkansas has all the capability in the world of beating Texas Tech. I think the ceiling is high for this Arkansas team. A lot of people are underestimating them, and Arkansas is making those people pay, and I can't wait to see what they do down the stretch here. Have a great day.